You're listening to the OMG Hour.
Welcome, everybody, to episode number 205 of the OMG Hour. Live, sort of, not live anymore, on... I totally messed up.
We're still alive, is what you mean.
I am alive, and I am one of your hosts, Sean Evans, otherwise known as Zion Tane.
I'm Jeff. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another week.
And Tico, Mr. Second Place.
Welcome, gentlemen. Yes, we are not streaming this live because for those of you who did attempt to watch us last week, first of all, thank you. And second of all...
And we're sorry.
I'm sorry. So many technical issues last week, it wasn't even funny. So while we're recording this live, we use XSplit to do this. Sometimes I love when we give behind-the-scenes stuff. Kind of breaks the wall here. But XSplit is very kind to tell me how many frames are actually encoded and how many frames are dropped, meaning it couldn't send them to YouTube. Well, last week, unfortunately, more than 50% of the frames were dropped during that episode. That is
and most
really
of them were
bad.
Jeff. So
most of them were Jeff.
Probably
most of it was all Jeff's frames that were dropped, and we can't put a show out without full Jeff.
Well, luckily our recording was okay, and I always keep a local recording of the show, so I was able to at least throw up a better version. If you have watched it after the live show, it is a much better version now. That was episode 204. But today, welcome, episode 205, not live, but still video. Gentlemen, how's your week been?
You know what? Tico, you go first this week. I always go first.
I had an okay week, I suppose. I played some games.
Just some?
Yeah. Well, not as many as usual.
Your list is like 5 games instead of the usual 20.
Well, I don't put everything on here anymore because Sean gets upset when he has to read through everything.
Time. It's the OMG hour. Not the OMG
so I don't
go
2 hours.
Everything. I don't go through everything I've touched. Just the stuff I've actually put a little bit of time into. Like there's probably another 20 that I played like 5 minutes of because I was bored.
Well, it's not even worth talking about, really.
No, it's and stuff that I played. Like I played more Doom this week, but that's not on my list this week because I already talked about Doom last week.
Well, what do you want to talk about this week then?
I played the new Fallout DLC.
Fallout, Far Harbor. Yeah, how is that?
Yeah. It's actually really good. They do a great job of bringing you back into the story. I know the first bunches of DLC for it was not story based. It was all, more robots and stuff like that. But this actually gives you a really cool setting for story DLC.
What is the setting? I know nothing about this DLC.
It's like in a harbor that's far away from where you start.
It's a Far Harbor. How about that?
So you get on a boat and you go into. It's called Far Harbor. It's like
what happens if you jump out of the boat?
I didn't try, to be honest with you, but you do sit there on the boat and floating around. I probably could have jumped out of the boat. I probably drowned and maybe not. You can swim.
Can you swim in Fallout?
Yeah, you can swim.
I thought it reset you if you went too far into the water.
I don't know because there's no water that's on the edges of the map.
Yeah, there is.
So
there is by one of the keeps, the little castle keep, where you defeat the big bugs.
I have not done that. I haven't jumped into the water and just swam until I died.
Oh, I did.
Or set.
Yeah, the game didn't like me because I went in the water.
Yeah, it probably would do that. It's really fun. I think it's like a Far Harbor set like in a Maine or something like that. I know I've only started the beginning of the stuff, so I've only done a couple of missions. But like the first enemies you face are like these giant salamander stuff. I know there's big crabs and stuff for you to fight. So I think it's sort of like a Maine sort of setting, Revenge of the Crabs sort of thing.
And I notice you play this the Tico way as well.
Running out as much as possible and hoping not to die.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. There's the thing that you start and you're attacked at the very beginning, and these things come out of the fog at you, which is really creepy, the way the fog is done, and these things sort of slowly come out of the fog at you, and you're supposed to stand up there, I guess, and snipe at these things. And I did that for about 4 seconds, and I decided that I have to jump down there and get as close as possible to these things. I'm not really good at aiming and stuff like that, so I get as close as possible to mitigate the fact that I suck so bad at that.
Well, you have the VAT system, right? I mean, don't you use VATs? So
Yeah, but when you get close, you can run up really close and then hit VATs, and then you have better percentages of hitting.
True.
So I'm really enjoying it so far. The story is fun. Basically, a fisherman's daughter has gone missing, and he has asked you to go find her. So she has taken off to this area in Far Harbor where she thinks she's a synth, and she's going to some sort of place that she thinks there's a refuge for synths. So
Okay.
you are tasked with bringing her back.
Now,
I don't know what the rest of the story is yet.
Now, is this a story that you have to be high level to get into? Or is it something that's sort of, now that you've downloaded, is it part of the whole game and you can kind of go anytime you want?
I think you can go anytime you want. So I had not finished the main game yet when I downloaded this. So I hopped in. I actually finished the main game missions first and then went in. But as soon as you hop in, it tells you, hey, listen to this radio station. And it'll give you the message for like a cry for help sort of thing. And you have to go and then investigate that.
Oh, I see. Okay. And that takes you to Far Harbor.
And that's the mission string. So I mean, I imagine whenever you start up, you can do that. I'm not sure if the level sets to where your character is. Like I didn't. This wasn't a cakewalk for me to get through at my level. I'm level 47. So it wasn't an absolute cakewalk. Like these aren't all one-shot kills on these guys, but it wasn't super difficult either when you consider my playstyle. Like I should die if you run that close to the bad guys. You should die pretty quickly, but I did not. And at this point here, I'd even switch to a melee weapon just for fun to run out and kill guys. So I think at my level, probably in the 30 to 40 range, probably is a decent challenge for people.
Okay.
So would you say that this is just more Fallout 4, or do you think they've made any significant changes to the gameplay at all to say like this is different Fallout 4?
I don't think it's any different. It's more Fallout 4, but I think that because it's a smaller area, it's encapsulating a better story than Fallout 4. It was sort of spread you all over the place, and then you're doing random missions. That guy who kept asking me to save another settlement every 5 seconds. This, I'm feeling it's because of the way they're telling the story. It's giving you a better sense of what you're supposed to do. And
because that's always. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying, like the way the regular game was, like I actually found myself getting bored because it was these little tiny side missions all the time. Not that I don't like side missions, but there's no substance to the side missions. It's like
That's why I stopped playing.
Yeah. It feels like everything I'm doing, and I haven't started any of the little mini missions and stuff, so maybe it's going to be the same thing with some of the side quests too. But I think because it's a smaller piece of the game, I'm going to enjoy the story of Far Harbor a little bit better.
Okay.
Fair enough. All right, continue on. What's next?
I played the new Ninja Turtle game.
Oh, and I've heard so many people talking really good stuff about this game. But I had read that it's a 4-player co-op game. So
so there's a couple of problems with this. You don't. Like, I mean, it gives you AI controlled, allies. So you pick as whichever one you want to play as, and you can switch between them at any time. It's really reminiscent of Transformers Devastation, where you're going from one section to another, and it sort of gets closed off. A bunch of enemies come, you kill them, you move to the next section. Is it
Devastation? I think so.
Yeah,
because it definitely looks like Transformers Devastation.
Yeah, it's really pretty. It's got that sort of comic book art style to it. A few things that I didn't care for, like it does get a little boring because you're just going from one section to the next section, killing some foot soldiers, running to the next section until you finally get to the spot where you have to fight a boss, which are neat. Like you've got all the 90s cartoon bosses, Rocksteady and Bebop. Kang is there, Shredder, of course.
It's fun. That's what got me bored with Devastation, was because it was just one melee encounter after another, and
Yeah.
then move to the next section and just do it all again. And I
Yeah.
found it so repetitive, it was boring.
And that's what I've got so far. I've played about 20, 30 minutes so far. I hear it's not a super long game, so I'll probably play through a bit more of it. The other issue I have with it is this is a Ninja Turtle game, 4 Ninja Turtles. There's no local co-op.
Really?
Crime.
No, it is online co-op only. And if I've got people coming over to the house to play games, like Turtles should be a game that's absolutely a must to have local co-op.
Or in
fair,
Jeff's case, like his kids would probably play this, would they not, Jeff?
Oh yeah. But to be fair, I mean, looking at this game and watching the gameplay that's on the screen right now, that way, no, there's too much lag. I can't tell. Wherever that screen is, it doesn't look like a game that would suit split screen, right? Or even shared screen co-op. The camera's flipping around. It's a third-person adventure game, or action game. So I can see why it doesn't.
I want them to do something with Turtles. There's 4 Turtles. Make me a local co-op Turtle game.
Yeah.
I don't know why it would be that hard to do.
Well, the problem is local co-op has become such a rarity these days.
I know.
Yeah, they don't make local co-op, and I don't know. I think that it's something that they should bring back. I think that they a lot of people want to play stuff at home with their friends when they come over.
Yeah, no, I agree. I love the look of it. I don't love the game style because it's just a brawler.
Yeah.
And I get bored of brawlers really fast because it just seems unbelievably repetitive. That's all,
And for the price point too. That's the other thing. For that price point,
as much as I love the Turtles and I love Transformers, I played Devastation. The look of it is fantastic, but it was just so repetitive. I just got bored, and it wasn't something I even wanted to go back and play.
Yeah, it is a full priced game. It is. It's not one of those bargain titles or anything like that.
This
It's not a
$39 game.
This is a $70 game.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
No.
At like $39, I think would be an appropriate starting point for what they're giving you for this.
I would agree with that. Yeah. There's also another game coming soon that I would argue that should be its price. But we'll talk about. I've had many an argument about that game. We shall not talk about it right now. But I will let you continue. Do you have anything left to say about this, or do you want to move on?
No, I can move on to the next one. The next one I played was a game called Kubicolor. It is a puzzle game. It's a very odd little puzzle game. You just are moving a colored cube around, and so the puzzle elements you will have different colors on different sides of your cube, and you either have to match up the cube to hit the other colored tiles that you're rolling onto in order to have some sort of action. So if you hit it with the same color, it goes up a level. If you hit it with a different color, it drops a level. So you just have to maneuver the cube around to get the right color of cube to land on the section in order to get to the end goal.
I can't tell you, as I was putting this video together for those of you watching on YouTube, how frustrated I got with you, Tico, because I'm like, no, not that way. No, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's like this is at the very beginning of the game. I hadn't quite got the concept yet. If you watch some of the later levels, I do get better at it.
It does look like an interesting game, but the one thing I find is this game looks like something you'd get on your phone, not on a console.
It was cheap. I think it was $7. So it wasn't an expensive game, and it is kind of fun. It is kind of fun to do if you want one of those games, like you said, like it's a perfect phone game because it's something you can flip around when you're not paying attention. So
yeah, I could totally. You know what? And if you look it up, I bet you anything, it's on the phones. It's available on Android and iOS probably. I don't know, but it certainly looks like a game.
And probably coming soon to VR.
And looks like Jeff's looking it up now, so he's going to let us know if it is indeed available mobilely. What are your ultimate thoughts of it, though, Tico?
I liked it for the price point. Under $10, It's a fun little puzzle game to hop into. I like these sort of little games that you can hop into really quickly and play without having to have really any. Like, my brain doesn't need to really be turned on for this for the most part. I can just sort of play through until I get frustrated and then turn it off and play something else.
And it doesn't matter if a little 5-year-old comes and crawls all over you.
No, because I mean, what's the worst that's going to happen? I can hand her the controller. She probably does better than me.
Well, based on some of the things I was watching, you might be right.
See, like, everybody knows. I'm glad that we're using Jeff's footage for Overwatch this week, because I was terrible. Like, the footage I put together for Overwatch, I'm like, I mean, I'll send it to him in case he needs it, but I really hope he doesn't, because I don't think I killed a single person.
Well,
the entire, like, it was a 10-minute clip I have, and I died like 80 times.
fair
I'm
enough.
not good at that game.
Really?
I'm not good at.
It's
I'm
not
better
on
now.
iPhone.
Oh, it's not.
It's not on iPhone.
Wow.
Kubicolor, yeah.
It should be. It should be. Well,
Can't
on
close
that
this
note
show.
of Overwatch, Jeff, do you want to talk about Overwatch?
I played Overwatch up to level 10. Hold on. Let's get back to the show notes. So yeah, today is Thursday. I started playing Overwatch on Tuesday, and I pretty much played it every single night this week. I've been having a great time with this game. I don't think a single thing has changed from the beta, to be honest.
Is that good?
It's good. Oh, this is a good round that we're watching right now, by the way. This is where we win. So in this game, I'm playing with Oliver. And this is the first thing that I like about this game. It's got a versus AI mode on 3 difficulty levels. So I don't like it when Oliver goes and plays with real people, right? I think I've said that enough times. When we play Armored Warfare or some of the other PC games that we play, like I disable chat, I make sure we're not playing against other people for a multitude of reasons. And that's the first thing that I really like about this game. And there's the difficulty modes means that we can go play, some hard stuff, or if he wants to feel like he can win, then he'll go play the easy stuff. Which is this round. This is a 3-round game that we're playing, and we win the first round because I'm being awesome protecting my Bastion, who's the turret behind me. But then we lose the other 2 rounds quite badly because we're playing
your
against
character,
target.
you're using a character that has this massive shield.
Yeah, Reinhardt.
That's who I used the other day when I tried it again, and I'm actually okay with him.
So I noticed that the shield basically, when it has a health bar. Basically.
The shield has a health, yeah.
Okay.
Every character has strengths and weaknesses in this game, right? So when you see a particular group of heroes coming at you, and then if they steamroll you, you can, when you respawn, you can say, okay, well, I need to play X character in order to deal with this scenario. So, like, what's happening on the screen right now is we're defending this capture point, and I'm a Reinhardt. I can deploy a huge shield, and I'm protecting my Bastion, who's behind the shield because he's very weak when he's in his turret mode. See, now what's on the screen is me getting obliterated. I'm about to die in about 2 seconds here, I think. Yeah, so you sort of like play off each other, and the way that every hero has a weakness and every hero has a strength, really sort of, you learn very quickly that you need to understand what your teammates are doing, and you need to be able to play off of what they're doing. Otherwise, what happens to me just happens to everybody. So, but I'm having a lot of fun. It's super good.
So
It is a fun game. I am enjoying and playing with people that I know, playing with them, and then that's what I did yesterday. And they actually walked me through. It's like, okay, you're going to play as this guy. This is what your job's going to be.
Yeah.
And they basically, you're going to protect the turrets. You're going to do this. After I realized some of that stuff, I actually started having a little bit more fun with it, even though I do die a lot.
is there in-game voice chat?
Sorry, what's that?
Is there in-game voice chat for this?
Yes.
So when you're
It is-
in a team, your team can all hear each other.
Yeah, your team can talk to each other.
Okay.
I disable that when I'm playing with Oliver, for
Right.
obvious reasons. But yeah, as soon as you join the team, you can get team chat. There's also a quick communication wheel, so you can press down on the D-pad, and you can bring up like the quick chat, and you can say like, I need healing, or my ultimate status, and all this kind of stuff. It's good, and a lot of people communicate with that quick chat. A lot. It happens all the time.
Cool. It definitely looks like a game you need good team communication, though.
You know what?
It's
yes
pretty
and
hectic.
It's very fast
It
paced.
can be hectic, but I've had some great play experiences where, I forgot to turn on my team chat, and so I'm just sitting there in silence. And you sort of, when you get together with a team that knows what they're doing, it almost just kind of works. Because, like, when you join the game, it sort of tells you, okay, your team's not balanced. You don't have enough defense. You don't have any healers. You don't have this, or you have too many of this. You got low team damage. It gives you all that kind of stuff. So I'd say 95% of the time, and again, I'm playing on PlayStation 4, the team sort of automatically balances itself, so that we don't have those notices shaming us for our poor team construction. And then as you get in the game, people just like, okay, that guy's playing Reinhardt. I know what he's doing. That person's playing Tracer. They're going to go out in front and harass. The sniper's up where they're supposed to be. It just kind of works most of the time. I don't know. It's really weird, but it's really good. That's all I really have to say. It's awesome.
Yeah,
I mean,
it just
10 out of 10.
okay.
Beats.
You get the unlocks as well for every time just playing gets you unlocks too, so you can get these chests to unlock new skins, and I think there's like 50 different items you can unlock for each character.
Oh, there's way more than 50.
Is there more than 50 for each? Maybe it's 100.
Oh no, maybe it is just 50 for each. Yeah.
I thought it was like 54 for each individual character
like
has
that. No,
50
you're
separate things, like different skins, emotes, voices. So I thought it was really neat that you unlock those pretty quickly as well. I mean, I know a lot of people have actually been paying real money for those, which seems silly. But
I guess I just don't, and this is just me, but I don't understand the appeal to just playing these games that are the same maps over and over, and it feels like to me that it's really nothing new every time you jump in.
Yeah, well, there's 12 maps in the game. And you do start to feel a little bit of map repetition, but it's also good because you start to learn the maps really well. All future maps will be free, by the way. All future characters will be free. They're working on a bunch of new characters now. They're working on a bunch of new maps now. There's no paid DLC in this game. It's all cosmetic stuff.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, that's a good part, right?
yeah,
It's like any other multiplayer game, right? It's Call of Duty I like, but I played in small doses. Destiny I like, but I played in small doses. This reminds me of the fun times that I used to have playing Counter-Strike, and like Counter-Strike, not CSGO or whatever the heck it's called today, the original Counter-Strike, and Team Fortress Classic, the Half-Life mod. Actually, I guess Counter-Strike was also a Half-Life mod now that I think about it. I really enjoyed those times, and when I started playing this, it just right away, that's how I felt again. It was just super fun. So I get what you're saying. I do want to say, okay, here's one thing I do want to say. The $80 price point for this game is a complete ripoff. That bugs me. If they made the, I don't know what it is. I guess it's supposed to be, it's $39.99 US, but they've never had a Canadian pricing for it, I don't think.
so maybe 89 is their conversion right now.
What's
Somebody
that?
somebody just assumed that was the Canadian conversion. That's
No.
probably the problem.
Well, there's on PC they have the $39.99 version that doesn't have the 5 skins and the World of Warcraft stuff. Sorry, guys. Hold on.
Jeff's dying right here on camera.
Again, this is 3 weeks in a row. Jeff's been in some sort of peril.
I'm gonna have to stop talking soon.
Are you gonna live?
I'm still fighting a cold. It always happens when I get a cold.
I think somebody from Blizzard heard that you weren't happy with their price point and put something in your coffee.
Their price point is terrible. On PC, you get $39.99 for the game. Then they bump it up to $59.99 or $79.99 Canadian. And you get a bunch of stuff for a bunch of PC games in 5 skins. It's a total ripoff. Like, if they had sold the $39 version, I would have bought it. That's all I'm going to say about that right now.
Okay, yeah. Let's give Jeff a chance to get his voice back. So, Tico and I played a new game this week. I think it was just
I'll be right
released.
back.
Okay.
You talk about what you've been playing.
That's what I'm doing. Glad he's paying attention. So yeah, Tico and I played a new game this week called Lumo.
Yep, that launches next week.
I think it launched this week. Just
Did
this
it?
week, I think so. But this is one of the games that you and I really, really enjoyed at PAX East this year.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely love this one.
Love this game. It's a callback to classic isometric, like dungeon crawlers essentially. It's one level after another, and it's just a room, which is kind of cool. It's like a room floating in space, the way they've designed it. But I'm really, really enjoying this game, and it's not a super easy game either.
No,
It starts
which
out
I
easy.
learned very quickly because I still died. Well, not died, but disintegrated.
There's collectibles in this game, like those rubber duckies. The rubber duckies are always floating in water that kills you, and they are not easy to get because it's sort of a double jump action in order to get the rubber ducky. But
You have to jump onto it and then bounce back off onto
Right.
a safe platform.
But when you jump off of it, it's not when you would think about it. So when your character looks like it's actually touching it, you'd think, okay, that's when I need to jump. It's actually slightly before that. You really have to time it.
Yeah. I have not gotten any ducks yet, by the way. I found a ton of the cassette tapes.
Oh, I've
No
got
ducks.
I've got half of the ducks so far. Which makes me wonder how big this game is or how long it is, because I think there's 32 ducks and I've already got like 18 of them. So I don't know if this is a super long game. I have no idea because I'm not at the end yet. But I don't know. I can't really say enough about this. It is a fun, isometric dungeon crawler. It's cute. It looks great.
It's well done. It's a fun story.
It is. I mean, this is one of those games where, it's an old school game, but not old school graphics, and that's what I appreciate about it.
Yeah,
That's
they
what I
didn't do this
appreciate.
they didn't do this in 8-bit,
Right.
like you would expect them to.
Exactly, and that's what I really like. I don't mind all of these old school games. What I mind about them is the old school graphics. I mean, I make a new game, make an old school game, but why can't it at least look modern? That's always been my pet peeve about retro games. And this, as a retro game, is exactly what I want from a retro game. I want the retro gameplay, but with modern graphics. And that's what Lumo
I think this
did.
is price pointed about, it's $19.99, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not expensive at all. And it's a lot of fun. Like, really, really
looks
a
pretty.
lot of fun. It's definitely pretty. The music is fantastic. It's very atmospheric, the music. When you're walking through a hallway, you hear the little clip, clip, clip of his feet. Like, it sounds like you're in a dungeon, right? And the music is very ethereal. I don't know, Tico, I've been talking a lot. Why don't you talk a bit about it?
No, I've enjoyed. I'm not that far into it. I'm enjoying. It's fun. It's fun to try to sort of solve the little puzzles and stuff like that. To figure out all the spots where you have to jump up and over a wall to find a secret.
Yeah, I love
like
the
I said,
secrets. Lots of secrets in this game.
I have not found any. Well, sorry, it's not that I haven't found the ducks. I haven't managed the maneuverability to jump on a duck properly yet.
Oh, because it's the timing thing, right?
Yeah, I haven't
dying,
timed it right just yet. I'll get it eventually. Then I'll have a whole video of just that.
I sat there for 5 minutes at the beginning of playing, and just jump, die, jump, die. Okay, I got to get this timing right. Jump, jump, die, jump. Okay. Oh, now I finally figured it out. I mean, I can't do it every single time, but I certainly don't die 5 times trying to get one duck anymore.
Yeah, that's the other thing is that for the collectibles for this, I'm playing this game for the experience of playing it right now. For the collectibles, I'm going to wait because I'm hoping to play this on the Xbox One next month when it launches, because this is the PS4 version that we have.
Yeah, and the one thing I'll say is, and I haven't figured this out yet, but I think there's some secrets or ducks that if you don't get them before leaving that level, I don't know if you can go back for them. Because I know I missed one. And I haven't figured out how to get back to like the first level to get it. I don't know if there's going to be a way. Yeah, so those watching the video, you see I got 24 out of 32 ducks already. So does that mean I'm near the end of the game, or does that just mean
they've only got ducks?
Yeah.
Or maybe it's 24 to 32 in this chapter. There's another chapter with like another 32 ducks.
And that could be. I have no idea. I'm several levels in, like several, I guess they're called floors. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But I'm several floors in already. So yeah, I thoroughly love this game. Really great platformer. The puzzles are not hard. They're not challenging puzzles. I wouldn't even call it a puzzle game. It's just a platformer.
Yeah.
You know, it's an isometric dungeon crawler platformer with some puzzle elements, and that's what's great about it. It's so much fun. Definitely check out Lumo if you like that kind of old school adventure game. Good.
C'est bon.
All right. Then I think I played a couple other things this week. Still playing Bravely Second. I'm about level 25 now. Jeff, how are you doing on it?
Only very little bit this week. I've been playing Overwatch until I'm ready to pass out. So
okay. And I started.
I'm going to be playing. Sorry, go ahead.
No. I was just going to say I started my second playthrough of Uncharted 4.
But, really?
Yeah, that's what I played this week. So
I'm going to be playing. I'm going to be playing some Elite Dangerous.
Oh.
I just booted up here. It had a massive. This is going to be an issue if I can't speak for the rest of the podcast.
Jeez.
It had a massive 9.8 gigabyte patch come out today.
Wow.
So it has apparently a ton of new features. So I'm going to check those out and I'll report back next week.
On PC or Xbox One?
Both.
Okay. All right,
and Horizons on Xbox. Really,
just
voice?
Talk in your midnight radio voice tonight on the OMG app.
That will probably ruin it even more.
That
Horizons
get nothing
is
but
coming
coughs.
to Elite Dangerous on Xbox One on June 2nd, which brings planetary landings.
Oh yeah,
I'm super excited about that. Yeah, so I'm going to be hitting Elite Dangerous again soon. I think, yeah.
All right. Well, Jeff, I'm going to give you a break because we have a lost
good.
treasure, and this is an interesting week for the lost treasure because Sid. I hope you're feeling better soon. Sid has been very ill. He was not able to do a new lost treasure, so I'm going back, way back to season 1 of Lost Treasures, to episode number 4, the 4th one we did. But I grabbed some video for it this time, so it's an old lost treasure and it's new, all in one. So here it is.
Lost Treasures with your gaming archaeologist, Sid Bowman.
You don't have to look too far back into history to find a lost treasure. In fact, only as far as the last generation of game consoles, which for many of you is likely still your current platform. If you've got a PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, or Windows box, then you have to check out Enslaved: Odyssey to the West. This is an action-adventure game developed by Ninja Theory and released by Namco Bandai Games in 2010. It uses the Unreal 3 engine and is a reimagining of the novel Journey to the West, which came out in 1592. So this truly is a lost treasure. First, let's give you a little bit of a history lesson. Ninja Theory was created in 2000, and it was called Just Add Monsters at that time. Their first game, Kung Fu Chaos, for the original Xbox, didn't blow up the sales charts by any means, or the review scores for that matter, but they also created the PS3 exclusive Heavenly Sword, a game I personally enjoyed very much, and after Enslaved they created the Devil May Cry reboot, DMC, which has fared much better than their previous efforts. The company was rescued in 2004 by Argonaut software founder Jez San, who deserves an entire history lesson on his own, but let's just say that this man contributed a lot to the current 3D gaming situation by helping create the 3D chip that was included in Star Fox on the Super Nintendo. In this game, you control Monkey, who is tethered to a girl named Trip, who has fitted him with a mind control device that will cause you to die if you wander too far away from her. She needs Monkey to help her get home, and she provides some assistance of her own to do some recon during your journey. This game will take you on a journey filled with combat, both shooting and hand-to-hand, and light puzzle solving. There are many interesting characters you'll meet along the way, and in fact there's some DLC that involves one of these characters, Pigsy's Perfect 10, and it's available separately or is included in the premium edition of the game if you are able to download it. Although the game takes place in a typical post-apocalyptic world, it is quite colorful and light in art style, not the depressed and subdued palette of other games with similar settings. There is some repetition with the enemies, but you'll have fun exploring the world and the different elements within. Trust me, this is a game that you should play. You can download it if you want, because finding a physical copy might be a little tough these days, but go ahead and search for the bargain bins of your favorite game store. Until next time, I'm Sid Bolton, your gaming archaeologist, seeking out the greatest games you may not have heard about and bringing them to you here, right here, during the OMG Hour.
All right, one of my favorite games from the Xbox 360 era. In fact, fun story about this game. A couple things. One, this, back in the day, remember when almost every game had a demo?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I downloaded the demo of this game. It looked interesting. Didn't know anything about it. I knew nothing about this game before it was released. That was one thing about it. Is like, where was the news about this game? It just was there.
There's no marketing for it at all.
No, it was just... So I downloaded the demo, which was like the whole first level of the game. And I started playing the demo. And I'm playing this game. I'm having such a great time. Like, seriously, a great time with this game. That the level came to an end, and it was the end of the demo. I'm like, whoa. Oh, man, I totally forgot this was a demo. Like, I was so into it that I just wanted to continue playing. And I immediately went out and bought the game. It was so good.
Really?
Yes. Oh,
wow.
Like, very, very few times has a demo truly sold me on a game. I don't know. This game was amazing. The other nice thing about this is one of the, if not the first review I did back in 2010 for Lasting First Impressions when I first started my site. This was the first review I did because it was such a good game. I love this game. And even for its day, it was a gorgeous game. Like,
Yeah,
even
very
now,
pretty, fun story too.
Yeah, I mean, even now looking at it, it still looks pretty good, I mean, you can tell it's not, full 1080p HD like up on a PS4 or Xbox One. But it still looks pretty darn good for an Xbox 360 game. So definitely a lost classic there. I love
Always regretted not playing that one.
Oh, man. It's so good. I really, really enjoyed it. All right.
Yeah, it's been on sale a bunch of times too for like $5.
Oh, if you can find it for $5, you need to pick it up.
I'll never play it.
I wonder if it's available on backwards
Too old now.
compatibility.
I think it is.
I will put my disc in the Xbox One and I will check. All right, gents. Let's move on to the stuff we like to talk about.
OMG.
I kind of had to laugh yesterday. Internet, I'm sorry, but of course there are articles out there right now saying possibly that No Man's Sky has yet again been delayed. Yet again. What is going on?
Makes June a pretty sad month if that's true.
What's going on with this game, though? Like, I was reading the article, and this game, gentlemen, was announced 3 years ago.
No. Really?
2013.
Wow.
And then it was at E3 in 2014. And it's just been, this is why I'm so frustrated with this game. It's been, back then it was like, oh man, I can't wait. This looks amazing. It's going to be incredible. And then it's delayed, and then it's delayed. Well, not delayed, but never announcing when it's going to be released. And then another year goes by. Still don't know when it's coming. And then another year goes by. Still don't know when it's coming. And then we got a date, June 18th, I believe.
21st.
21st. And now we're hearing that maybe it's been delayed another month or two.
Yeah, well, small team, big game. I don't know other way to put it. Like, if I was going to, if I would ever start my own studio, I probably wouldn't go any more than 20 people. It would take me, 5 years to build anything too. So
I get that.
I do want to. What's that? Sorry.
I get that, but
Yeah.
I think it's just it's the media hype. It's the interviews on national television that is like,
Yeah.
why so much media and marketing, like years before it's coming out.
Yeah.
And then
That's weird.
don't even get me started on the fact it's coming out at $80.
Yeah.
Well, they may not be able to maintain that price point long. At this point, I think they're losing. If this is indeed delayed again, they're going to lose even more pre-orders on this thing. They're going to get to a point where they're going to have to reduce the price just to get people to try it.
You think so?
No,
I mean,
you know
every
what?
time a game's delayed like that, I mean, if I had a pre-order, I would have canceled it and just say I'll just wait for it to be $30-$40 instead of 80.
But there's so many people out there that are like, I think there's two camps with No Man's Sky. There's the camp that says, I can't wait, I'm buying this the day it's out. And then there's the other camp that's like, I have no interest, I don't know enough about this game. What is it? Is it going to have enough gameplay for me to warrant $80? It's not a directed gameplay. It's essentially, it's go do whatever you want. It's an Elite Dangerous type game. Is it worth that kind of money? I don't know enough about it. I'm not getting it, right? And unfortunately, the information we've received about this game has made those two camps, right? The people who are like, it looks amazing, can't wait to discover it. Then there's the others like, you haven't told me enough, I'm not even interested. And then there's all these delays and put-offs and years of waiting. That's really just, it made me upset with the game.
I mean, I don't think you should necessarily be upset. I want to address the late thing because today on Reddit, I read that those rumors may not be true. And I've been diligently searching for the last however long we've been recording. And I have yet to find any. So I'm going to give up. But so those rumors may not be true. But, I kind of agree. I think they're charging $79.99 because they can. Because they do have a hype train. And I think, Tico, you may be right. If they don't deliver soon, their hype train is going to run dry.
Like anybody who had a pre-order on it who is now frustrated with this is going to cancel, and they may not buy this at $80. Now they're going to be like, well, let's wait and see what they've done with it. They may be waiting for a lower price point.
I was super hyped about this game, and anyone listening to the show for the last couple of years knows Jeff and I both were super hyped for this game.
Yep.
And then slowly and surely, I've gotten to that point where it's like, I'm just so fed up with it. And then I find out on top of that, it's going to be $80. I'm sorry, but I'm not paying $80 for this game. I'm just not.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's something about it that to me, it doesn't seem like an $80 game to me.
I think, same thing with Elite Dangerous. I wouldn't pay $80 for Elite Dangerous either. It's something about a procedurally generated game that when you do that, it sort of means that, yes, there's lots of things to discover, but everything has a sense of sameness to it. And I like Elite Dangerous. I got it right there. But it has, when you play that game, you kind of like, even though you can go to like 1 billion star systems or something, okay, one has 2 suns, one's got 1 sun, that's a yellow sun, that's a white sun, that's a blue sun. It's still all suns. It's still all space stations. There's only so many permutations of things that you can possibly see, and after a while, just like in Destiny, right? You start to notice the cookie cutterness of it. How, yes, that's a unique spaceship in Destiny, but it's really just made out of these 3 parts from these other spaceships.
Yeah, exactly.
So that kind of, you start to get a sense that the universe is big, but it's not that big. It's fake big. And I think that's what bugs me about the $80 price point, is that there's no way that this game is going to deliver epic stories or, with no multiplayer, it's kind of weird. Like, okay, so it's not a multiplayer game, so it's single player only. But, it kind of, like, what are we doing? And I kind of have a good idea what we're doing, and I still think it would be better with other people. So, anyway. I don't know how much time we have. How are we doing on time today, Sean? Because I feel like we're doing bad.
I don't even know. We're good. We're good. We got 15 minutes.
Okay, we're good.
We got 15 minutes. So let's move on to some other stuff. Somebody else is picking a fight with their fans and developers that maybe they shouldn't be. Oculus apparently is not making any friends recently because so a couple of weeks ago we talked about how somebody had written a piece of software that allows the HTC Vive to play Oculus games. Well, Oculus has gone and basically broken that ability. But the developer of Revive, which is this software, he's remodified the game that essentially breaks the DRM in Unreal Engine, which is what Oculus games are made on. And by breaking the DRM, it still allows the games to be played on Vive, but the problem is by doing that, now the games are open for piracy. Yeah. And that was never the intention of the guy who made Revive. He just wanted to make the games available on HTC Vive. There's a really interesting article. I mean, Ben Katura, one of our favorite opinionists, he's got a great article in here. It's like, you know what, this isn't a fight that Oculus is going to win, because for a couple reasons. One being that Vive is the superior system, the superior platform. Mm. While Oculus is going to have motion controls for your hands later, they're not out there now. So right now, the HTC Vive can do everything the Oculus can do, but the Oculus cannot do everything the HTC Vive can do. Mm-hmm. And if they start, what's the word? I can't even think of the word he did. But if he starts pushing people away from Oculus, their store is just going to die. Because what's the point of buying games from the Oculus store when you can just go to Steam and buy games that are available on both platforms?
The thing that gets me is that this is not even the first time that Oculus has pulled the rug out from under everybody, right? We've had the crazy price points. There's been lots of things that the founder, forget his name, has said that they've backtracked on. And now it's come down to this, right? And they keep thinking that they're a powerhouse company, right? They keep thinking they're Facebook. And yeah, okay, you're Facebook, but you're not freaking Facebook. You have no consumer trust when you start, right? Oculus is a new company to us, and we are waiting with bated breath to see what kind of company they're going to be. And it turns out that, the first thing they do is they sell it for more money than they said they were going to sell it for. There's some other things, and then they slam it down with, they close down what we were told was going to be an open system.
Yeah.
And when you do that to a community like PC gamers, they don't take kindly to restriction.
Yeah.
They are the least, open-minded to, they're very, they want things to be open all the time.
Okay. Yes.
And when you take that away, you know what? The gamers, there's enough gamers out there that are just as smart as the people building the friggin' hardware and software, that if you do something they don't like, they're just going to undo it. And this is exactly what happened. Oculus cares much more right now about exclusivity and protecting their deals and making money and blah, 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 blah. It's the same thing that Microsoft did when they released the Xbox One. They were looking at the wrong thing. You cannot win any war in the gaming ecosystem if you don't have the gamers on your side.
Yep.
You need them.
Yep. And Oculus is just pushing them away.
They will flock away.
That's right.
Yeah.
They're pushing them away.
Yeah, exactly.
They're literally pushing their clients away by doing stuff like this.
And
They can't do it right now. They have to be inclusive, not exclusive.
Yeah.
I don't know why every company has to learn this lesson the hard way.
Yeah.
Look at Microsoft now. They learned that lesson the hard way, and now they're making all the right decisions these days.
Yeah.
You know?
You know, after PAX East, I had the opportunity to play on PlayStation VR, Oculus, and the HTC Vive. And the HTC Vive truly was the superior
I've heard.
VR because it felt so natural with those controllers in my hand, you know? And I talked about it on our PAX East review, Days in Review, if you want to go back and listen. But one of the things I said with was it called Hard Reset or something? Not Hard Reset.
Raw data.
Raw data, thank you. I can never remember the name of that game. But one of the things that was amazing to me is with these controllers in my hand, I could actually twist my hand in the game and see my weapon from all angles as if it was physically real in front of me. And it kind of blew my mind being able to do that. You know, and you could not do that with Oculus right now because they don't have motion controllers. HTC Vive worked beautifully with zero latency. So, I mean, if I had the money for VR and was ready to buy one, it would totally be HTC Vive that would have my money. But I don't have that kind of money.
I'm hoping the PlayStation VR lives up to the promise. Just get close. I know it's not going to be as good as the PC solutions, but it's about $1,500 cheaper, so...
Put your microphone down.
That would probably be better.
All right, well, let's move on. More stuff about Nintendo. So, of course, we know that the NX is coming out next year, but there was a financial...
Is it? Did we know that?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
March 2017, but it's not going to be at E3.
That's weird.
I know, right? They're going to launch a new console in March, but not show it to us at E3.
In less than a year. Well, maybe they want to get away from the hype of everybody else.
They want their own hype.
Yeah.
I think they're going to do their own show later in the year. They're going to do something.
Yeah.
But recently, a Japanese financial report has been leaked or brought forth that hints at a new handheld also being developed, codenamed MH. No other details about it, but all we know is they're also working on a new handheld, which doesn't surprise me. I mean, how old is the 3DS now? Tico, do you remember when it released originally?
No, I don't remember exactly. It's at least 3 or 4 years now, isn't it?
Oh no, it's way more than that.
Is it more than that?
Oh, big time. Yeah, the 3DS.
Maybe there's a date on the back of it. Hang on.
So I don't know. I mean, I'm super interested. Here's our news crew is on the scene.
Yeah, somebody's got to type and look this up.
I guess it doesn't surprise me. You know, I also wouldn't surprise me if the new handheld came out at the same time as the NX.
Yeah, maybe
next
it works
year.
with it. Who knows? But I mean, it's not a shock to know that Nintendo's working on a new handheld.
No, I mean, Nintendo's handhelds have always done better than their consoles. I'm surprised that they're not just working on a handheld.
Yeah.
You know? But then we also go back to that rumor, is the new console also a mobile device? Oh, no. I mean, so many rumors out there. We have no answers from Nintendo.
It was originally released in Japan on February 26th, 2011.
2011.
So
okay, so it's
5 years.
years
4 or
old.
5 years. I was right.
You said 3. You were wrong.
I said 4 or 5, didn't I?
I just got a
It's not
3DS.
like we
Don't
have
make a new one already. I haven't got my money's worth out of the last one.
Anyway, I thought that was cool. I mean, Nintendo.
I hope they make it pretty.
Well,
The 3DS,
you need to go
they were
work for them.
all
then.
ugly.
Go work for them. Tell them what they need to do.
Well, they need to make an ugly one first, so that way when they do the whatever it's called, XL or whatever deluxe, they can make a prettier one then and sell you yet another system afterwards.
Not a single good-looking 3DS. I think I think I've said this on the show 1,000 times. Last good-looking Nintendo handheld was the DS Lite. That was a good looking. It looked good, you know.
I mean,
It was nice.
But when you say looks good, what do you mean? Like,
It's ugly.
I don't
It
think
is-
it's ugly.
It's ugly.
I don't know. It is a big block. I do find that
Corners are too round. You open it up, it's kind of just blah inside, and nothing makes any sense. It's got too many lights, and the screens are funny sizes, and the controls are too small, and
I think
It's ugly.
I think you just don't like Nintendo.
no, I got no issues. I'm the biggest.
Send your
Nintendo
emails
fanboy as long as
too.
they bring Nintendo Championship back this year. Otherwise, screw 'em.
All right.
I gotta get Tickle again. I'm gonna shut up for a little while. What's next?
Well, let's talk about Xbox Live Games with Gold. Major Nelson has announced what the new games are this month.
June.
I don't know, or for June, yes. I don't know what the games are for PlayStation yet.
No.
they
Usually it's a day or so
Yeah, they-
afterwards.
They're last minute every single time.
Yeah.
We got like weeks until they do, because they'll do the first Tuesday in the month, which is not
week?
next week, but the week after.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right, it is. It won't be out till the 7th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they got lots of time.
All right. Well, for Xbox One, for June 1st
Yep.
to 30th, you're going to get Goat Simulator.
which is really weird but fun.
Yes, but we all also have it.
Yes.
Yes.
'Cause it was- yeah.
It's definitely
Because we're
worth,
weird and fun.
It is definitely, if you don't have it, it's worth downloading and checking it out.
You should definitely get high and play that game.
Yes.
I would highly recommend it.
Highly
You
recommend
will
it.
have a good time.
And then from June 16th to July 15th, you will get Ubisoft's The Crew.
I didn't like that game.
No, it was okay for a time. Jeff, you and I raced on that one. We raced across the country, didn't we?
I think,
And
did
then
we
you-
race across the whole country? That's the
No,
cool thing about that
It
game.
was a couple of states,
But-
I think.
Honestly,
And
if
you
you're gonna play a
cheated.
game like The Crew, go play Forza Horizon instead.
Yes.
That's kind of
Yeah.
They're
Well,
both
Forza
kind of
Horizon's
like
not
go
gonna
on
be free.
big
If
road
you
trip
want a free
type
game,
games.
You get a free game here to play. You don't give that. Give it a try. I mean, it's a $30 game that you're getting for free. It's Forza Horizon. You probably have to wait a few months for that to pop up on here.
Here's the biggest complaint that Jeff and I both had about The Crew. While he and I were racing, we had an actual race set up. Every time I passed an event, it would pop up on my screen right in front of my vision. Like right in the middle of the screen, it would pop up all this information. And if I pressed the wrong button, all of a sudden the event started. I'm like, no, I don't want the stupid event. I'm racing Jeff. Like, when you set up these events, it should shut off everything else in the game while you're in that event. And it doesn't do that.
Yeah.
You know?
We're in an event. We don't need to do one.
Right.
We're good.
Right.
Thank you.
But also, because it's an online racer, when you finish an event, like even a racing event, you continue in the world driving, right? It doesn't stop the world, and yet all the information about your event pops up in front of your vision, and you can no longer see where you're going. It is so annoying. Like it's just not designed well that way. But you know what? It's free. Give it a try. July 16th to 15th. And then on Xbox
June.
Sorry, June 16th to July 15th. June 1st to 15th for Xbox 360 is Jeff's favorite platformer, Super Meat Boy.
I love Super Meat Boy. It's free.
It's free.
It's going to be free.
And it's backwards compatible. And
Actually, I think I own it on 360, so maybe I already have it.
you probably
Yeah.
do.
And I have it on PlayStation. So this week is kind of a bust, or this month is kind of a bust for me.
No, it's a total bust for me all the way across the board. For the final one, June 16th to 30th is XCOM Enemy Unknown. Awesome, awesome game.
Yeah, that one.
Oh,
I
and it's going to be
haven't played.
backwards compatible, right?
Yes.
Yes, it will.
Count me in.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a good game. I always want. Do I own that game?
I think
don't
it's
remember,
backwards
but
compatible.
I've never
now,
finished that
actually.
game.
Oh, I did. Miranda was my hero. Did I told you
Yeah,
that,
I
didn't
totally
I?
played that game. Oh, I think I bought it and then I traded it in because something new came out, so I stopped playing it. I never go back to old games. So
I named all of my soldiers, all
Yeah.
of my Twitter. So Jeff, you were a soldier. Miranda was a soldier. I think Tico, you were one of my soldiers. And
Yeah,
Probably
you got
died
me
really
killed.
quickly by running in and getting shot.
No, because I controlled you, so you were good.
Oh,
But I think I told you, Jeff, that Miranda was actually the hero of my story. She was the one who was the hero soldier at the end. Yeah. So she defeated the enemy, which was pretty awesome.
You also told me that I died.
You did die.
I did.
Yeah, I think you died. I know. Because you ran in, not looking where you were going.
Yeah, well, blame the battlefield commander for that one.
All right, well, we are almost over time, so we should hurry up. We got a couple of game announcements. First off, Mirror's Edge Catalyst is going to be playable 5 days early on EA Access. So definitely, if you're interested in Mirror's Edge...
Launch trailer for that out today. I didn't watch it, but it's out.
Yeah, I saw it as well. It was... I didn't see a whole lot of gameplay, though.
Apparently it was really super disappointing.
I'm interested... I loved the first game. So I'm really interested in this one, and with it being on EA Access, I will get 10 hours free. Hopefully.
That is true.
Unless they limit it to only a first
it's
couple...
6 hours. 6 hours with this one. I remember reading something about that. They're giving you 6 hours because they don't want you to finish it.
That's fair. That's fair, but I'm going to be honest. I didn't finish the first one either. So 6 hours, it might be enough for me to get my feet wet and be satisfied with it. You know, kind of like PGA Tour. I never did finish the whole 10 hours.
By the way, PGA Tour is free on EA Access right now.
It's true, but I've already played it. And finally, if you have not played this amazing puzzle game, The Talos Principle, you need to check it out. The Talos Principle is getting a sequel. Absolutely fantastic puzzle game. Really, really clever puzzles. And that's all it is. It's just a puzzle adventure game. So check out The Talos Principle if you have not, and then you can prepare for the sequel. All right, gents, do we have time for our geek news? I think we do. I think we have to. This week, of course, I'm very excited. As you all know, I'm not just a Star Wars junkie. I am also a Star Trek junkie. And trailer number 2 for Star Trek Beyond came out this week. And it's a much better trailer than the first one. I'm still super excited for this. I'm going to be completely honest with you.
Okay, that's good.
I know there's people out there who were Star Trek fans or are Star Trek fans, as much as I am. I'm a huge Star Trek fan. And yet there are other Star Trek fans who are really, I guess for lack of a better term, upset with the new series, with the movie series. And I guess I just don't get that, because to me, I just love Star Trek, period. You know? I mean, I'm not going to tell you these are perfect by any means. You know? I have issues with it, but I'm not at that point where I'm not going to boycott these movies because it's not my Star Trek. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I go in there, it's the characters I love, and it's good action, it's good CGI, it's good special effects, and it's good science fiction, you know? And I love them. I had several problems with Into Darkness, you know, retelling the whole Khan storyline. But I don't know, this movie looks great. I mean, it kind of is a reminiscent of I want to say Undiscovered Country, maybe, the one where they're on the prison planet, in the original movies. This kind of looks like that. But I don't know. It looks good. I'm looking.
That's a good point, actually. I hadn't thought about that. I did actually watch this trailer. I think some of the things that bug me is some of the bad guy aliens look a little too much just like I'm a guy in a suit or I'm a girl in makeup. That a little bit bugs me. You know, that guy that was just on the screen reminded me from the guy Jakar or something from Babylon 5. Do you ever watch Babylon 5?
Oh, yeah. Yo, he does.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. It does look like it, doesn't it? Yeah.
So, there's some stuff like that, but, you know, I kind of like the idea that they're telling a different type of story. I know they said that they were a lot of the show's not going to be about take place on the Enterprise like some of the other ones did. And I'm like, you know what, I'm okay with that. Well, because just like
the other movies
in Dragon Age 2, how we can have stories that take place in smaller spaces, I think we can have a Star Trek story that takes place anywhere, right?
Well, absolutely.
It's not the spaceship that makes it Star Trek. It's a big part of it.
Yes.
But I'm curious to see. And you know what? I like Fast and Furious, so it's the director, and I know that's sacrilegious, but that's okay by me. So
Well, I think to take from that is he's a good action director, so it's definitely
Sure.
going to be a good, action sequences. And I don't think that's bad for a Star Trek. Star Trek does have action sequences in it, even the original. But I guess unless a lot of people they prefer the real good storytelling, character development. But I gotta say, this is a movie series. This isn't a new television series. You can't have a lot of character development when you only have 2 hours every 3 years to tell
Yeah.
your story. You know what I
and
mean?
a lot of the next generation movies didn't feel like movies.
Yeah,
It's because they didn't have enough spectacle to them, right?
yeah,
The movies are supposed to be special.
yes.
A lot of the Star Trek movies, the next generation movies, I felt never felt special enough. It's like, yeah, that would have made a great episode of TV, but it wasn't good enough for a movie.
And that I can understand is probably where a lot of people are coming from. This doesn't feel like Star Trek because most Star Trek movies, including the original crew, Star Trek's 1 through 6, felt like 2-hour episodes. And I agree, they did.
Some of them did, not all of them. Some
Not
of them
all
did
of
feel like.
Not all of them, agreed. And maybe that's where people are coming from. Whereas these new ones are summer blockbuster films set in the Star Trek world. And I'm perfectly okay with that. As a lifelong Star Trek fan, I am perfectly okay with that. And I am very excited for Beyond.
It looks like it's going to be fun.
Agreed. So with that, we shall end episode number 205. And I believe, Tico, you are sending us out.
Yes, I am. Follow me on Twitter at Mr. Second Place. Feedback and questions, you can reach us at the OMG Hour at gmail.com. If you are listening to our audio podcast, don't forget to look us up on YouTube. And rate us on iTunes. Help us become a featured podcast.
I, of course, am Ziantane. That is Xiantayne. And our Twitter for the show is at the OMG Hour.
And I'm Jeff. You can follow me on Twitter at Cynics. If you're watching us on YouTube, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons. Check out all of our friends on the Open Forum Radio Network at openforumradio.com. Of course, follow our gaming archaeologist, Mr. Sid Bolton, on Twitter. That's at Sid Bolton. The game reviews and the show notes are on omgnexus.com, and you can follow the website on Twitter at omgnexus. And of course, listen to the Lost Treasures of Gaming, where Sean and Sid dig up treasures from gaming's past.
And I'm going to start also posting the Lost Treasures segments from this show as their own video on our YouTube channel. So go and check those out. And I'm going to probably
Awesome. That's a great idea.
I'm going to go back
Those are
and I'm going
super
to start creating all of our backlog of Lost Treasures and start adding them to YouTube. So we've got a big collection coming soon. So thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. We'll be back again next week.
Cheers, everyone.
Bye, guys.
This has been an OMGNexus.com production.